In this section, we'll explore all facets of collecting and analyzing your email marketing campaign data. Data is important because sending the emails out is only half of the challenge. Measuring whether your campaign was successful or not is a big part of your campaign too. So when it comes to email marketing campaigns, how can you tell if yours was successful or not? First, you have to understand how data, metrics, KPIs, and reports all fit together. You'll learn that all of these concepts help ensure you're confident in your decision-making, allow for a more productive strategy, help organize and define target audiences, and open your organization up to new opportunities. Then, I'll talk to you about the common email marketing metrics most digital marketers use to determine a project's success rate. Those are open rate, click-to-open rate, unsubscribe rate, complaint rate, conversion rate, forward rate, list growth rate, bounce rate, and your campaign's ROI. Then you'll discover best practices for presenting those campaign results to stakeholders. Stakeholders are going to be the people, usually within your organization, that are affected by the campaign in some way. This might mean your boss, your team members, or colleagues in other departments at your company. So let's begin. Meet me back here in a bit. When it comes to email marketing campaign results, there are lots of concepts that are important to know. Terms like data, metrics, key performance indicators or KPIs, and reports are all likely to be a part of your daily vocabulary as a digital marketer. And it can be confusing to try to distinguish between them. In this video, we'll work to understand the relationship between all of these concepts. You'll come to learn that tracking and evaluating your campaign's performance will help you understand how to serve your audience, which will lead to audience growth. When you know what works, you know what you want to stop doing and what you want to do more of. Knowing how to collect data, track metrics and KPIs, and review reports will help you analyze results and turn them into insights. These results help ensure you're confident in your decision-making. They enforce productivity so you don't waste time focused on tactics that aren't working. They help you define and target your audience, and they open your organization up to new opportunities. Think of it this way. Lots of data makes up metrics. Metrics make up KPIs, and KPIs make up reports. Let's start with data. Data refers to a collection of facts or information. These facts, numbers, or information are used to inform or plan something. So when you think about how many people visit your website, how many purchases were made after you sent out a promotional email, or even something like the age breakdown of your audience, that's all raw data. So how do you turn data into metrics? As you've learned in this program, metrics are data with additional context. If data is a number, think of metrics as a quantitative measurement of those numbers or data. Metrics help you make sense of raw data. Metrics refer to the quantifiable measurements that are used to track and assess a business objective. For example, if you're looking at an email marketing automation tool dashboard and you see 40 website visits from an email campaign, that's an example of data. It's only until you view it as a metric that it becomes a piece of useful information. If you look a little closer and see that the 40% is your open rate, that's a metric. You'll learn more about open rates later, but the open rate is the percentage of users that open your email. When it comes to email marketing, you can't choose and personalize data based on your organization, but you can choose and personalize which metrics to prioritize based on your organization's goals. Some important email marketing metrics are open to click rate, open rate, unsubscribe rate, bounce rate, and share rate. Recall that key performance indicators, or KPIs, are measurements used to gauge how successful a business is in its effort to reach a business or marketing goal. KPIs are metrics, but not all metrics are KPIs. This is because KPIs are the metrics you decide are important to determine your email marketing campaign success. You may decide that return on investment and conversion rate are the two metrics your company needs to prioritize for success, whereas open rate isn't a metric you'll pay attention to. And sometimes it's helpful to think about how your metrics fit together. Maybe you have secondary KPIs that, when prioritized, will help you reach your goals. For example, if your sales are a little low but your conversion rate seems to be on target, you might want to focus on open rate so that you're getting subscribers to open the email. If they open the email, they're one step closer to buying, and your sales may increase as a result. An email marketing report is a collection of KPIs. It usually includes the use of effective visuals like graphs, tables, and figures. Once you have your email marketing campaign report, you can use it to pull insights from. What did you learn? What did the figures tell you? Your reports are oftentimes included in presentations to inform stakeholders. The importance of data, metrics, KPIs, and reports in email marketing really can't be overstated because they help inform your path as an organization. They help answer questions like, are you where you want to be? Are you headed in the right direction, or should you pivot and adjust your tactics based on audience behaviors? Being able to answer those questions for your organization is invaluable. Recall that metrics are quantifiable measurements used to track and assess progress toward a business objective. This is important to remember as we explore the most commonly used metrics in email marketing. Whether you're the one tasked with setting KPIs at your company or they're already set for you, you'll need to know the importance of each metric in email marketing. In this video, we'll explore open rate, click-to-open rate, and unsubscribe rate. Let's get into it. An open rate is the percentage of users that open your email. Most likely, you won't have to do any kind of calculating yourself because you'll be using a tool that automates those for you. However, it's good to know that it can be calculated by dividing the number of people who open the email by the number of people who receive the email. Your open rate is important because it indicates how engaged your subscribers are. A high open rate might mean you are writing effective subject lines, while a low open rate might mean your subject lines need some work. If your organization doesn't put much emphasis on achieving high open rates, though, you aren't the only ones. Some companies care more about how the subscribers engage with the email once they've opened it, rather than the fact that they've opened it. That's where your click-to-open rate comes in. A click-to-open rate is the percentage of email recipients who clicked on one or more links in an email out of the total number of unique opens. If you ever need to calculate your click-to-open rate, divide total clicks by the number of unique opens. This metric is often used in A/B testing, where two versions of an email are sent out at the same time to see which version an audience responds more positively to. Lots of marketers pay very close attention to their click-to-open rate. Let's say you are trying to generate interest in your new cleaning business through email marketing. You decide to send two versions of the same email with different images attached to hyperlinks. Whichever has a higher click-to-open rate, or whichever version your subscribers clicked on more, will determine future decisions around which images you may add. The more your audience engages with your content, the more your email marketing campaign will thrive. And if they aren't engaging, you may find that they'll eventually unsubscribe. That's where our unsubscribe rate comes in. An unsubscribe rate is just what it sounds like. It's the percentage of email recipients who unsubscribe from your send list after opening an email. This metric is useful because it indicates whether you are delivering content that your audience enjoys. However, in some cases, users just opt out of opening your emails altogether, rather than unsubscribing. So if they aren't opening your emails, that's a different issue than them unsubscribing. To calculate the unsubscribe rate, divide the number of unsubscribes by the number of emails delivered. Open rate, click-to-open rate, and unsubscribe rate are all great indicators of how things might be going for your campaign. Whether or not they are the right metrics to prioritize as KPIs, that's up to you and your team. In this portion of the course, you're learning all about the metrics companies track to see whether their campaign is successful or not. We're covering everything from open rate, click-to-open rate, and unsubscribe rate to conversion rate, email bounce rate, complaint rate, and more. In this video, we'll focus on the last three I just mentioned: conversion rate, email bounce rate, and complaint rate. The conversion rate is the percentage of email recipients who clicked on a link in your email and took a desired action, like making a purchase. Basically, conversion rate answers the question, did your audience do the thing you wanted them to do? Achieving a high conversion rate is very important to many companies because it means you're selling more products or services without having to increase your budget. You can calculate conversion rate by dividing the number of conversions by the number of clicks. Typically, you'll rely on analytics tools to give you this number. Google Analytics, which you may have already heard about and you'll learn more about in later videos, provides marketing statistics and analytical insights. It's a great tool for understanding your customers by tracking various metrics, like conversion rates. Going back to a prior example, if you want to know the conversion rate for your new house cleaning company's email campaigns, you'll want to check how many people ended up booking your services from your emails. A subscriber is more likely to take your desired actions if they receive your emails. That's where email bounce rate comes in. Email bounce rate refers to the percentage of emails sent that could not be delivered to the recipient's inbox. This metric can be calculated by taking the total number of bounced emails and dividing by the number of emails sent, multiplied by 100. Typically, bounce rates can vary and are subject to change, so to see how you are doing, check your industry standards online. If you find your bounce rate is higher than the industry average, you may need to do some investigating. A bounced email is caused by incorrect or inactive email addresses or an import error with your email list. To avoid a high bounce rate, make sure to verify your domain, double-check your automation tool is up to date and working properly, purge your email list periodically so that inactive emails are no longer included, and make sure you have your subscribers' permission to send emails. Your complaint rate is the percentage of complaints recipients send to mailbox providers about receiving your email. You can calculate it by dividing the number of complaints you receive by the total number of messages you receive from recipients. Most experts agree to an industry standard of about 0.01%, or 1 complaint per 1,000 emails. So since your new home cleaning business is relatively small, you may not track this metric for a while, because odds are you're not getting a lot of complaints. This metric can help you gauge how happy your subscribers are. And since you're serving them, you want to be sure you aren't offending them or getting something wrong. If you do, you may lose subscribers. Conversion rate, email bounce rate, and complaint rate all provide important insights to the overall success of your campaign. When it comes to email marketing, growth can be measured in lots of ways. One organization's definition of growth may be different from another organization. One company may choose to track their list growth rate as a KPI, while another tracks forward rate. A third company may choose to track return on investment, or ROI, to find out if the work they're putting in is resulting in increased sales dollars. In order to know which metrics your company should track, you'll need to become familiar with the most common email marketing metrics. In this video, we'll talk about ROI, list growth rate, and forward rate. Let's start with ROI. Recall that ROI is the ratio of money made and money spent. You can calculate this number by dividing the total revenue by the total amount of money spent and multiplying by 100. So, let's say your house cleaning company made $800 from your first email campaign, and you figure you spent about $200 on it. Your ROI will be 400%. This important metric tells you whether your email marketing strategy is productive. ROI in email marketing tends to be pretty high because the total spend is so low. This number is always helpful to know, but it's especially useful when creating reports and presentations for stakeholders. Showing a dollar amount helps to show the effectiveness of your campaign to your organization. It's important to note that you may not review your ROI as frequently as the other metrics. You may check the others daily or weekly, but ROI is often calculated and reviewed monthly, quarterly, or annually. In the previous video, I mentioned that email marketing has an average ROI of 42 to 1. So for every $1 spent, $42 is made back. That's a pretty high return on investment. But don't get discouraged if your ROI isn't that high. Every situation is different, and maybe you are more focused on tracking other metrics. And return depends on multiple factors, such as volume of sales, average order value, website conversion rate, and more. Because of this, companies in different industries may have very different return margins on email marketing campaigns. List growth rate is the rate at which your list grows. The calculation for this one is a little more advanced. You take the number of new subscribers minus the number of unsubscribers, divide that by the total number of email addresses on your list, and then multiply it by 100. If you gained 6 new subscribers and lost 2, your list growth rate is 4%. This number is helpful to track because if your emails are quality, a high list growth rate may translate to a higher sales volume, which can mean a higher ROI. Another way to grow your brand's audience is through subscriber forwards. A forward rate is the percentage of recipients who click on the share button to post to social media, or who click the forward button to send to others. Forward rates can be calculated by dividing the number of forwards or shares by the total number of emails delivered. A forward rate is an incredibly valuable metric because when an email is forwarded, it means you are generating new leads. And what greater compliment to your brand is there than to know your subscribers want to share you with the world? I hope you feel ready to help your company, or future company, strategize and prioritize growth using the metrics and KPIs you've learned. After you've spent time tracking your metrics and assessing your campaign success levels, you'll want to share that information with stakeholders and marketing team members. Your stakeholders will be interested to know how effective your email campaigns are, and if your time is being used wisely. And this is where you'll communicate that. To do this, you'll build an email marketing report. An email marketing report is essentially a collection of your KPIs that you present to your team and stakeholders to inform them of your campaign's progress. In this video, you're going to learn how to create an effective email marketing report. An email marketing report tells your stakeholders just what your campaigns are doing for the company. These reports answer questions like, how has our business positively benefited from email marketing? Is our email marketing strategy falling flat anywhere? How can we improve upon it? Can we put even more money behind certain aspects of our campaign now? And so many more. So when it comes to presenting these reports to stakeholders, be concise, visual, engaging, and show growth. Being concise is important because you want to show you value your stakeholders' time. So only include details that are absolutely necessary to tell your campaign story. And avoid jargon and technical language so that anyone can understand your report, even if they are not familiar with email marketing metrics. Using visuals in your report is an effective way to tell your story. Visuals show your audience something that words can't always accomplish, and they represent what you're saying visually to help people understand it. For instance, showing your stakeholders a line graph with many spikes and dips in it is much more effective than putting text on screen that attempts to explain the spikes and dips. It's okay to use your report straight from your automation software, but if you want to tailor the presentation to your liking, you should rely on programs like Google Slides, Microsoft PowerPoint, or Canva. Using images, diagrams, and charts also adds interest and allows you to be more engaging with your stakeholders. Being engaging is important because you want your stakeholders to be interested and entertained. Grab and keep your stakeholders' attention by varying the way that you present your data. Play videos of demos, testimonials, or case studies. Tell a story or anecdote related to the data in the report. And ask for audience participation through questions, surveys, or quizzes. It's not just about entertaining your stakeholders, though. You want to show them that you're adding value to the company thanks to your campaign. Include your key performance areas. This will help you demonstrate how you achieved successful results and outcomes. So, describe the goals and objectives you set for the project and what you hope to have achieved by the end. If you're presenting this report to your business partner and co-owner of your house cleaning service, and you know your general objective is to grow your subscriber list over the duration of the campaign, explain how you did that. Then, describe how you met those objectives against your KPIs. Review how you define the success of your project at the beginning and highlight the outcomes you achieved that demonstrate the success. Let's say your goal was to increase your list growth rate by 400% over 4 months. Your list growth rate is your KPI. So include whether or not you hit that goal. Include all of this as a bullet point list so that it's organized, clear, and concise. Growth can also mean you learned some hard lessons. Discuss anything you learned during the course of the project and any areas you've identified for improvement. You may or may not be a naturally gifted presenter, but use these tips and you'll be better equipped for that part of the job. Meet you back here later. Congratulations on finishing this video from the Google Digital Marketing and E-commerce Certificate. Access the full experience on Coursera, including job search help, and start earning the official certificate by clicking the icon or the link in the description. Watch the next video in the course by clicking here, and subscribe to our channel for more lessons from Google Career Certificates.